Good morning, wherever you are. It's time for the Monday Minute. I'm Christian Paul. I hope y'all had a great weekend. They're telling me it's going to be around a high of 80 degrees here today. We're going to take that, okay? Of course, we have Jan with us, as always, this morning. What are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about St. Joseph's, Berlin, Wisconsin. First off, I'd like to congratulate Craig and Melissa on their new endeavor. We had talked to Craig a little bit before we got started. He told us the plan, and we wish them well. We hope they do good, and it's a very successful venture for them. St. Joe's, as I'm going to call it from this point forward, this is our first official investigation for 2025. I guess maybe we kind of got a little bit of a later start this year, but places we were looking at, obviously not heated, and God, just freezing my keister off is just not appealing at my current age. I'm not going to dig into that too deep, but some of you know, and well, it is what it is. Okay, so let's talk about St. Joe's. The night started off interesting right from the get-go. Now, if you've ever been to St. Joe's, and you probably haven't, not many teams have. Pardon me, allergies, the nose is a little itchy this morning. The church is right next to the rectory. Now, for those of you that don't know what a rectory is a place where male clergy would live. A priest, a monsignor, a monk. There are no co-ed dorms. Let's leave it at that. A convent is the place where female clergy would live. Okay, two separate buildings. The school, through a hallway, is actually connected to the church. The rectory is a separate building, and although the convent is technically part of the same building as the school, there is no pass-through from the school to the convent. Does that make any sense? Okay. So Craig packs up and leaves Dennis and I to our own devices, which is kind of dangerous just to begin with, as some of you know. But there's a parking lot across the street, so we're parked there. We would have parked, there was a driveway we could have parked in, but there was a 20-yard lugger box in the driveway. What's a 20-yard lugger box? It's a 20 yard. What does 20 yards mean? 20 yards is 20 cubic yards capacity for throwing crap into, because there's still a lot of wood and scrap and stuff to be removed from the premises. I guess they were going to do some work on it yesterday afternoon, but we left. I don't even know what time we left. Maybe about 7:30 in the morning. We headed back home, maybe 8 o'clock. I don't remember exactly. But definitely one of the shorter going back home runs that we do. We're used to doing some of those 7, 8 hour long car rides, and that was not the time at this location, which is fine. All right. So what happens? Dennis grabs a bunch of stuff and he's headed to the door where you go in. Now, you don't go in through any door near the street. The door that you go in is kind of back. It's kind of like the entrance to the hallway between the church itself and the school. And the place that they've been using for a team room is downstairs, just under the church. Okay. Craig had given us a little walkthrough tour before we got started, but all right, now we're officially bringing in equipment. Dennis is ahead of me, and I'm grabbing some stuff and I'm going in, and I can hear Dennis yelling. And I'm like, what? I don't know if he saw a rat or that, I don't know. Dennis opens the door for us where we're going to go in, and he hears foot shuffling coming from the basement. We haven't even, pardon my internet connection, we haven't even started yet. And Dennis is hearing something from downstairs. I come, not running because we don't run, but I come walking up quick. What's going on? What's going on? Dude, I'm hearing footsteps down in the basement. Of course, we don't even have a body cam on yet. So undocumented, but Denny had a great personal experience. Okay. We load up our stuff and we get it down in there, and we're going to set up and we're going to do this and do that. And we generally start with kind of a walkthrough on our own, taking some baseline pictures, often bringing K2s along just to see if we notice any hot spots or anything like that. Okay. We had the entire place to ourselves. Now, the way I understand it, you can just, per se, rent the church. Good morning, Brenda. You can rent the church. You can do the rectory. You can do the convent. You can do the school. Well, that's not how Crossingaurd rolls. If you know us, we do the do. We take on the whole place. So, where are we going to start? Okay, well, we walked here, we walked there, we walked everywhere. Now, I am going to say, for those of you that follow the minute, and I know a lot of you do, even though you don't comment or you don't like, because I do get to see how many views the Monday Minute gets overall. A lot of you don't watch it live. You're at work, whatever. I get it. But generally, every week we have views in the triple digits. And I personally want to thank you for that. I must be offering something that's worth your time to watch. So, thank you. All right. I was a little under the weather last week. That's why we didn't have the Monday Minute. And I was just kind of getting back in the groove of things. Pardon that phone in the background. So Denny had some time on his own, this investigation, to go here, to go there, to go here, to go there. Denny got creeped out on this investigation. Now, I haven't heard him say anything about getting creeped out at a location. I don't remember the last time. But St. Joe's did creep him out a little bit. So I take that, I take that as a positive thing. We have a crap ton to review. I did download my Sony IR still camera last night. I've got uh, full spectrum to download yet. I've got body cams to download yet. I never did use the GoPro this investigation for whatever reason. It just, some investigations you just get in a groove in one direction, and that's what you do. We did break out not only the SLS, but Denny now has an XLS. Now, we did use it in a few different locations, and I gotta say, that did not pick up a lot. But we did have a very good hit in the attic of the rectory. Now, Craig had told us there's two sets of stairs that go up to the attic. In a house that's actually pretty unusual. You generally only see one staircase going to an attic. One particular staircase, Craig tells us, is kind of inhabited or worked by an entity calls himself David, who claims to have been around before the beginning of time. My guess, some sort of elemental. That would be my guess. Why he would be hanging out in the attic of a rectory, I have no clue. But Craig also told us there is another entity at the other end of the attic, although no name given, maybe no name was ever stated. We did work that location twice, maybe three times. We did get a lot of hits on the DR60, full sentence answers. Granted, I've got to work those clips. You know how the DR60 works. You got to kind of pump it up or clean it up a little bit sometimes. And a lot of the answers that I was getting were actually pretty clear vocal tone wise, but in need of amplification. Not a big deal. We know how to do that. The rectory itself, this was a very nice house at one time, built out of stone. We worked from top to bottom. We did not get any REM pod hits. Believe it or not, I know this is going to sound crazy. Actually, we did not get any REM pod hits in the entire location. Pardon me. For whatever the reason. But Denny had a new recorder he was using. He got hits. I got a lot on the DR60. Body cams going, and we get more stuff on our body cams than anything. I mean, just amazing. Look at some of the videos on the page. Look at some of the videos on YouTube. Just amazing stuff on the body cam. The rectory, I am really looking forward to reviewing that. Let's go over by the church. This church is actually amazing. Now, this is a former Catholic church. The stained glass in this church is phenomenal. You have to have an appreciation just for the craftsmanship and the skill set that went in to constructing these windows. I would venture to say the stained glass in this church, dollar value wise, is more than the entire property itself. Now, I don't really have any stats to elaborate on that, but I do know a little bit about stained glass. And I do know a little bit about investment real estate. So we'll leave that at that. But the stained glass, fantastic. They were using the church at one time as a giant, I don't want to say flea market, but like an antique store. And if you're familiar with bigger antique shops, you know that individual vendors rent out little areas and sell their wares and all that kind of thing. So I probably had some success there. It's very common, especially in smaller towns and big ones too, but a pretty common scenario for that to happen. We did work the area Saturday night into Saturday morning, and then another pass through early morning Sunday. Love the location. I can't give you any clues on anything yet now. Like I said, we haven't reviewed anything. We worked the main floor. We worked the choir loft. We worked the sacristy. All right, let me elaborate on that. Again, this is for some of our non-Catholic aware viewers. The sacristy is a room right off to the side of the altar, can be on the right or left, just depends on the layout. Pardon my itchy nose today. Allergy season is coming. Things are in bloom. It's making me a little crazy, but okay. The sacristy is the place where the priest or the monsignor or the deacons would prepare before doing a mass or a service. Okay. The sacristy is where the altar boys would be to come out with the priest for the service. Interesting, the altar and all of that is already gone. There is not even a pulpit in this place. So I didn't do my normal reverend sermon, so to speak. But I'm really looking forward to our review on that part. If you go on the Facebook page right now, I do have one picture up from inside the church showing the stained glass. Check out that picture. Take a good look at some of that stained glass. Again, phenomenal. Phenomenal. In the basement of the church, which in most churches, it's a meeting place, it's a gathering place, it's a party place for weddings or anniversaries. They do have a little stage set up down there, and nice space for grandma and grandpa's anniversary party or whatever. We investigated down there. Again, got some good hits on the recorders, so I'm looking forward to putting that up. Okay. As you go out of the basement, which is on the same level that the team room is, you go out toward the rear, and you can go up a flight of stairs that takes you to a hallway down to the school. Hit all the classrooms, did some sessions in the classrooms, some good hits in these classrooms. I don't believe that there's only one entity in this. I think there are different ones in different locations, very similar to what we had when we were at Father John's. And I don't believe, and this is just a personal belief, that all entities are aware of each other. But that's something for another show. Maybe I'll cover that subject at a later time. Okay. The school had 4 classrooms, so I don't know if this was a 1 through 8 or a 1 through 6. I don't know if maybe they were running 4 classrooms, so maybe first and second grade in one, third and fourth in one, fifth and sixth in one, blah, 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 blah. You get it. I know you do. We had worked that. Cool place. We went into the convent. Now, the convent we did a little bit different when we did the actual investigation into the convent, not the walkthrough, because the convent is very, very musty. I am allergic to many things, so I was wearing a mask that evening. We did get a little bit of action on the SLS. The carpet, I think, had been in there probably since, I don't know, the 70s or something. So if you know what old kind of damp carpet smells like, this place is a flat roofed building. And flat roof buildings, you really have to keep up with them because you do get water seepage and things get musty and kind of disgusting after a while. Greg and Melissa do have plans for both the convent and the rectory to turn them into haunted Airbnbs. I think that's cool. I wish them all the best on that. If they can have any setup even anywhere near to what they did with Father John's, turning that parsonage into an kind of a haunted B&B type of thing. Now, what's a parsonage? A parsonage is roughly like a rectory, but the Catholic Church kind of does their own thing. A parsonage is more of a Christian house set up. Again, to my knowledge, not co-ed. Pardon the gaps. I am losing my internet connection here and there sometimes. But we had good hits there, and I'm sure there will be in the other location as well. Now, I will say one thing. If you're going to go there, and I don't think I've ever made this recommendation like in 40 years of my involvement in the paranormal. If you have like a folding lawn chair you can bring it with you. As of right now, this place is not long on chairs. Now, there is some furniture in the convent, in the living room you can sit on. It's old. God knows what's been spilled on it, but you can sit there. In the rectory, let's see, you've got 2 floors plus an attic plus a basement. There are 3 folding chairs in the entire building. Okay, so unless you want to stand all night, I mean that's up to you. At my age, I don't want to stand all night, but we won't get into that. Okay. The convent itself also does not have power at this time. So be prepared if you go to the convent. Make sure your batteries are charged and you've got your flashlight, or there are times I use a headlamp. I also have lighted gloves. If you've seen them, they're gloves with little LED lights on them. Those work out pretty good, just so I can see where I'm going. I don't want to trip over anything. But no power, just so you know. So make sure your lights are good. The rectory has power. The school has power. The church has power. At least in the places that we were using to plug things in. I will say, for me personally, I did not hear any footsteps personally. I did not hear any pops, bangs, moans, groans, which is pretty unusual, I think, from the standpoint that just about every place you go, you hear that old building creak, that old building pop. I will say these buildings were very well constructed, brick and stone, all of it. Although, from what I understand, the parish was originally established in 1851. So I'm going to guess the original structures were wood and around, what did Craig tell me? 1915, I think the church, he said. Everything was built with stone. And it's solid, very solid. We've all been in some buildings that if you bump them wrong, a whole wall would collapse. This is not true at St. Joe's. This is very solid. Needs a little roof work, a little window work, but solid foundation, very structurally sound. You don't have to worry about falling through a floor anywhere or anything like that. And believe me, I can't say that for all the places that we've been to. You don't have to be quite as careful. I'm not saying be casual, but you're not going to fall through a floor anywhere. So that's cool, right? Okay. So school, convent, rectory, church, had the whole thing. We loved it. There will be review coming soon. I don't want to give away any secrets as of yet. I do have a few things to tell, but I think we're gonna hold off on that until we can get some review done and post up some things to back some things up. That's what we got for the Monday Minute for today. If there's anything you'd like me to cover, you know where to put it. If there's anything you'd like me to comment or debunk or have an opinion on, you know I've always got an opinion. You know where to put it. As a favor to myself and to yourself, be good to each other. Be kind to each other. A little bit of love can go a long way. And we don't always know what people are going through. So be good to each other, okay? That's been the Monday Minute for today. I wish you the best. Peace out.